Welcome back to the First and Gold podcast. I am your host, Sam Gold, and today we're going to be recapping Week 13 of the NFL. Let's get right into it. Happy Thanksgiving. We got a lot of games to talk about, and it's time for one of my favorite traditions of the year, watching football on Thanksgiving. It's going to happen tomorrow. This video will probably be out today or tomorrow, so happy holidays to everybody that celebrates. And yeah, we got a lot of good matchups to talk about. So before we get into it really quickly, I just want to remind everybody not only to like and subscribe and comment down below, but we have something going. We're going to have this for the next, the rest of the season. I want you guys to go down into the comment section and comment your boldest prediction for Week 13 coming up. And then in next week's episode, we're going to pin the best prediction and shout it out, which means our first order of business is to shout out Brock P Fan 13, who commented last week. Bryce Young understands it now. Now, people are like, is that really a prediction? Well, we scrolled through all of our comments, and there was a good amount. Thank you guys for commenting, but we said who was going to get the closest bold prediction. And we're looking here, and literally, like, almost every single prediction is completely wrong. A couple of them are decent, but not close. So I wanted to pick, Brock P. Fans 13's comment saying Bryce Young understands it now, because I was at the Chiefs-Panthers game. And, yeah, that was maybe a thought I had just watching him from the stands. Like, yeah, seems like he does understand how to play quarterback now. So maybe that's what he meant by that comment. And it felt like that was actually the closest prediction out of anything. So shout out Brock P Fan 13. You won this week's sweepstakes. But yeah, go comment down below this week's bold prediction, and we'll show you out next week if you have a good one. All right. Sweepstakes, whatever you want to call it. The First and Gold sweepstakes. So yeah, let's jump into it. We have our Thanksgiving games to start. Bears-Lions, as tradition. The Lions always get the 1 o'clock game. And as much as I want all these games to be close, all three of them I don't think are going to be that good. I hate to break it to you. So if you guys just want to, go hang out with the family, I don't blame you. I think the Lions are just going to absolutely dominate. I think Caleb Williams has a lot of pressure on him to put out a good performance. Rookie season, first ever Thanksgiving game. Interesting. So as much as I want the Bears to win because I want the Chiefs to remain as the best record in the NFL, hopefully, I got to pick the Lions, and I don't think it's going to be close. So I'm going to pick the Lions to win this game 34-17, 3-score win. And then the 4 o'clock game, Giants, Cowboys. Have absolutely no idea why they keep putting the Giants on Thanksgiving. There's so many other matchups you could have done. I mean, I guess it really doesn't matter because Dak Prescott's hurt. Cooper Rush, he had his good game last week. I don't think he'll play that good, but the Giants are just probably the worst team in the NFL right now, and they just got rid of Daniel Jones. Shout out Daniel Jones for making $40 million a year to sit on his couch and now move to a 9-2 football team as a backup and not have to do anything. He's on the Vikings now. So, which is really funny because if it weren't for the Vikings losing to the Giants in the 2022 wildcard round, Daniel Jones wouldn't have probably have been paid. And then now the Giants franchise has been ruined for the next 2 years. They paid him, let him go, and now he's on the Vikings. So that's just how football works sometimes. So I just thought that was funny. Yeah, he's on the Vikings now. Yeah, he's officially on the Vikings, by the way. Anyways, this is going to be Drew Lock versus Cooper Rush. There's going to be another game I'm going to put in my Who Cares game of the week, but this is the only reason this is not on my Who Cares game of the week is because it's a Thanksgiving game. That's the only reason. So I'll pick the Cowboys to win it in an absolute snooze fest, 24-13. Another game which on paper seems like it could be a good one, but Packers-Dolphins. The Dolphins just don't play well away in cold weather. It's just that simple. And although the Packers have some red flags on their team occasionally, I just think they're going to outplay them entirely. Until proven otherwise, Tua just can't go out and go to Lambeau of all places and win. I just don't see it happening. So, as much as I want the Dolphins to win, I think the Packers are going to also handedly get this one 27-17. Of course, the Chiefs are playing on Black Friday. Like, the Chiefs play every single day this week except for, I believe, Tuesdays, which is crazy. It's the Raiders. We're hosting them. We all remember what happened last year when we hosted the Raiders on Christmas. And I hope that doesn't happen again. Look, Mahomes and the whole locker room and the team were talking about how they're disappointed that they've never had a blowout loss in the last, 20-something games at this point. And as much as I want them to go out and prove that, yes, they can do it, I just don't believe him. This will be a 3-point game in the fourth quarter. It doesn't matter who's running out. What is it, Desmond Ridder for the Raiders in this game? It doesn't matter. The Chiefs are going to keep it close. And yeah, they're probably going to win, and I'm going to be happy. That's fine. But until proven otherwise, I just don't see them blowing anybody out. So it seems ugly, but I'm going to pick the Chiefs to win it 21-14. Yeah. I mean, look, I'm happy if they win, so it's fine. Texans-Jaguars, 1 o'clock on Sunday in Jacksonville. This is trap game, possibly? No, the Texans had their trap game. I almost convinced myself that the Texans might lose this game. I wouldn't be shocked if it's close because this is how the Texans have been keeping it. They're going through a weird slump right now. I think they'll still luckily win their division for sure, but I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I think the Jags have pretty much phoned it in this season, so I think it's going to be close, though. I'll have the Texans winning it 24-20. I think that was the score of the last Texans-Jaguars game as well, so let's see if I get it right. This is the Who Cares game of the week. Colts-Patriots in New England. I don't know. I don't give a shit. Colts win it. No, actually, Patriots win it. I think Drake May will outplay Anthony Richardson. So let's pick the Patriots to win it 17-13. Okay, this one's actually very interesting because it's Falcons-Chargers in Atlanta. Falcons coming off of a bye. The Chargers coming off of a tough home primetime loss against the Ravens. And the Falcons are kind of falling right now. They've lost, I think, 2 in a row now. And they're 6-5, and the Bucs are now on the come up, and I think this could be the game that decides the Falcons season. If the Bucs truly are going to keep on going and get better and better and have a chance to make the playoffs, I think Kirk Cousins could miss the playoffs. I really do. And I think the Chargers are pissed. Quentin Johnston's going to want to bounce back as much as people think that the Chargers aren't going to trust him. I think Jim Harbaugh is a good enough coach to put that trust back into the system between Herbert and Quentin Johnston. I don't think they're just going to stray away from him now. So as much as people think that the Chargers might become this disaster, absolutely not. They're well coached. They're going to win this game. I'm sorry, Falcons fans. We'll see what happens. But I think the Chargers are going to win it 24-21. The Jets host the Seahawks. I mean, God bless anybody paying money to go to this game in MetLife this weekend. I mean, seriously, props to you. Maybe you're a Seahawks fan visiting. That's fine. You get to see your team win. I don't know. But look, the Seahawks are 6-5. They could be 7-5, and I'm going to pick them to win it as well. I don't know who's favored. I'm not going to make it an upset alert because I don't think it's an upset if the Seahawks win. So I'll pick the Seahawks to win it 20-13. Okay, this is our random game of the week, we'll call it. Random matchup, Commanders-Titans. This should be a bounce-back spot for the Commanders, hopefully. I don't think Jaden Daniels is going to go out and play like MVP Jaden Daniels, but he needs to just have a solid, mistake-free game against the Titans are actually kind of underrated, but Will Levis had his good game last week. I feel like he's due for one of those bad games. Maybe not, though. Maybe not. The Titans like to play spoiler a lot, but I'll stick with the home team. I'll be confident in the Commanders this time after a 3-game losing streak that they've had. I'm going to pick the Commanders 24-17. A big game for the Bengals, even though I say this every week. Oh, gosh. I just don't know if they're going to win this. You know what? I'll go ahead and pick them. I feel like the Steelers can't stray too far away from, 11 wins. That feels like their max, even though they're probably going to end up better this year. But it's going to be a tough one. I don't know how the Bengals are going to do it. They're going to have to play great offense again. We'll see what happens. I will pick the Bengals to beat the Steelers. 27-25. It's going to be a weird score. Cardinals-Vikings. Kind of an odd one. And Al, as much as I feel like I keep picking against the Vikings this year. Is it a uniform? Okay, yes. It's a good uniform matchup if the Vikings were the purple with white and the Cardinals go all white with the gray face mask. I think that's a solid one. The Vikings host the Cardinals. The last time the Cardinals were in Minnesota, I believe it was a couple years ago, DeAndre Hopkins had a nice one-hander touchdown catch. That's all I remember. So I'm going to pick the Cardinals to upset. They could totally go out and lay an egg against the Vikings defense, though. But this is going to be my upset game of the week. Upset alert, I should say. The Cardinals are going to pull this out in overtime on a game-winning touchdown, 29-23. Man, if I could just pick another who cares game, I would. Screw it, maybe it is another who cares. It's Saints-Rams. Rams win 31-23. Bucks-Panthers in Charlotte at 4 o'clock? What kind of game is that? Why is that at 4 o'clock? Anyways, the Bucks are going to win. I like what the Panthers are doing right now. They're kind of in a similar situation to the Bears, funny enough, because they traded with him to get Bryce Young. But I'm almost convinced that the Panthers should keep Bryce Young if he keeps this up. I think people have, and I'm a victim of this too, I think it was actually the right decision to bench Bryce Young this year and to kind of just get him back on track mentally. And, he just needs time to grow. But the fact that they're on this almost 3-game winning streak. They almost beat the Chiefs. And Bryce Young has looked immensely better, more confident, just happier. I like Dave Canales as the coach. Chuba Hubbard is a great running back. And now they have Jonathan Brooks, the rookie, finally coming in. Hopefully gets more carries. I like the Panthers as one of these frisky teams where, look, if Bryce Young does continue to look like this, you got to have the conversation. Like, you're still paying him his rookie contract. Maybe it's not the best draft class coming out. Maybe you just keep Bryce Young for another year and see what happens. So I think the Panthers will actually give the Bucks a tough time, but the Bucks are just the more talented team, and I think they'll come out with the win. So I'm going to pick the Bucks to win this one, 27-21. Okay, this is the game of the week, matchup of the week. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is the one I've been eyeing specifically for the Eagles to see how they perform. Ravens, Eagles. This is a good one. I like this matchup a lot for many reasons. Not only, I think this is the first time finally we're seeing Jalen Hurts versus Lamar Jackson, because I believe Jalen Hurts wasn't starting yet in 2020 when these two teams played each other. So that's going to be a lot of fun to see. Both teams coming off of nice wins. I mean, the Eagles have been on this win streak for a long time now. I'm so curious to see how John Harbaugh preps against Saquon Barkley. And then on the other side, it's Derrick Henry. We have two great quarterbacks going at it, two great running backs going at it, two bird teams going at it from the East Coast, a couple of rowdy fan bases in Baltimore. These teams need it badly for their playoff seeding. So I like that they put this at 425. I think this is going to be a great matchup. Shout out once again, Mullet Daddy on TikTok, because guess what? I am going to believe in you guys, and I am going to pick the Eagles this time. So we'll see what happens. Look, if the Eagles lose this game, if it's close, I still believe in them. But screw it, I'll ride with the Eagles on this one because I want the Ravens to lose as a Chiefs fan. So I'm going to pick the Eagles in a very fun, close game, 27-24. Okay, and this is a matchup that I totally understand why it was picked for Sunday Night Football at the beginning of the year. But with the injuries to this one team and the way the other team is playing, I just don't think it's going to be a great game. It's Bills hosting the 49ers. And I'm going to pick the Bills as much as I need them to lose this game. I just think the 49ers are on the way down. Now, this could totally be a spot, kind of like when the Bills got destroyed by the Ravens earlier in the year, where the Bills are kind of just on this high, and they just came off of a bye, and maybe they're not overlooking it because of the 49ers, of course, but this could just be one of those situations where the 49ers just desperately need it a lot more than the Bills do, which is not true because the Bills still need the number one seed, but I could see the 49ers pulling out all the stops possible to try to win this game because they really do need to. They're 5-6, last place in their division. So as much as I could see the 49ers pulling it out, I think Josh Allen has enough to still get it at home in prime time. So I'm going to pick the Bills to win it 30-23. And then finally, this actually could be an interesting game. Now, for the Browns, it doesn't really mean too much, but it's Broncos-Browns Monday Night Football. It's in Denver. I'm curious. I believe this is Bo Nix's. Is this his first primetime game? Maybe his second. I can't. It's his second primetime game. He played the Saints. But I'm interested to see how Bo Nix does in a Monday Night Football game at home. That should be cool. Jameis Winston coming off of an awesome win at home in the snow. Maybe this is another snow game in Denver. You don't know. You know what? I'll pick the Browns just because I want them to win. I mean, I don't really know what's going to happen, to be honest, in this one. So I'll pick the Browns to win it just because I'm a Chiefs fan. Screw it. And I'll make it kind of a weird, ugly score. 22-18. The Browns are going to win this. And yeah, there you go. That is our Week 13 prediction episode. Guys, don't forget once again to like and subscribe. Comment down below your bold prediction for this upcoming week. And yeah, follow us on the socials at Instagram and TikTok at First and Gold. I'm your host, Sam Gold. We'll see you guys next week for another video. Goodbye.